Oh, you have to come on the set. Cause you using my app, using my what's the name? We go. Can I get Can I get another camera?
Sure.
Yeah, put another camera up.
Hold on.
Yep. So while we're in the pre-show, if you're already in the pre-show and you tuned in, we usually be started by 7:30. But as you can see, I'm recording from an undisclosed location. We are on a sabbatical, but I couldn't miss the opportunity to highlight the people tonight, man. With so much going on, we really don't have time to not take the optimum opportunities we have to converse with each other.
Twitch has
To
accepted the
build this
stream.
community because
Twitch has accepted the
we're
stream.
under attack. We're under attack. You got me?
YouTube has accepted the stream.
YouTube accepted the stream. We're about to go live and in color. If you already joined on, thank you. If not, we're about to hit it in the gritty.
Facebook has accepted the stream.
Facebook accepted the stream. Oh, that other camera, so I got a guest here with me. I want to be able to throw them up. They're on the same.
Tell me when I can start the timer.
You can start the timer in 5.
Wait a minute. Wait. I'll tell you. Ready? Can you see the timer?
Yes.
Okay, when it says on the air, you're on the air.
There you go. Hey, y'all. This is me, Jerome Wright, coming at you from an undisclosed location. And just want to holler at you. I'm getting this feedback. Y'all hear me loud and clear? Well, I don't know. Somebody's on. Tell me know how the sound is coming reproduction. Because even though we're not in the studio, Think Twice Radio, the home of the future, allows us to broadcast from wherever we want via satellite. So here you go, the Wright Report, edutainment for the community, coming to you live and in color via satellite. Good evening, my brothers and sisters. It is a pleasure to join you. I'm not in the studio tonight. I am at as I said earlier, an undisclosed location. Trying to hold it down. Love is love. And good. Got the people in the house. Got the people in the house. They on my second camera. You on, brother. You on it. There you go. Right. So listen, we're about to kick this thing off. First of all, let me give a shout out to my man, the ones and twos, Richard Wicker. Yes, this is Richard Wicker. Yes, this is Richard Wicker, the owner, proprietor, engineer, man about time for Think Twice Radio. And you know when you think twice, you gotta be thinking right. If you're thinking right, you're thinking the right report. Edutainment for the community. It's good to see y'all tonight and to be in your presence. This is still Black History Month, and we gonna talk about Black History, but so much is going on. And I just want to give a shout out to all y'all who took the time to tune in. I don't know why I gotta send out reminders every week. You know when to put your number in. You know when to go to wherever you gotta go. But when it comes to the Right Report, I gotta remind you to get on to get some of this news that only you can use. And for this transformative two-day sessions that we got to build this community, because we gonna need each other more than ever as time continues to go on. But as you can see, I got in the studio with me, my man, right-hand man on the left-hand side. There you go, my brother, Rodney. He was so engaged and we worked so well last week. I figured I'd keep release for another show. See what y'all thinking, and then we'll kick it to the clam if you have to. But I think he the man for the show right now. So Black History Month. There's so many things we can talk about. What I want to concentrate on today is the beginning of the world. Whether you believe it or not, whether you want to believe the lies that have been told or not. It has been an indisputable fact that men and women of Africanoid descent, what we like to call the Asiatic black man, was the first on the planet. Now, I'm not saying that in no way to demean anybody else, to claim any form of superiority. What we stating is an actual fact. And me and my brothers laughing today about the truth. You can't handle the truth. Many people can't handle the fact that we were here first and that we've traversed every inch and corner, nook, and cranny of this planet and left our imprint indelibly everywhere we went.
Or in the words of Screwface, everybody want to go to heaven, but no one want to die.
I don't know why he said that, but it sounds good. For Screwface said it. But I want to bring it back. You know, Malcolm X is what we were going to talk about tonight, but because I'm not in the studio, I can't play the excerpts that he has given us over the years. Timeless pieces of information, affirmation, empowering words, and truth and fact. So next week, as we close out our February edition of Black History Month, we will bring you an exclusive, the Malcolm X experience from our shining prince, one of the greatest orators, one of the greatest human beings that have ever lived. I'm getting messages that his Zoom secretary said you are okay. You don't have your Zoom secretary, we get a lot of feedback. I'm sorry, sometimes we on location. You know what? I'm gonna come off of this. So that. But hold on, like I said, little technical difficulties. But it ain't rough. It ain't right. Y'all hear me now? Still hear me? I don't hear y'all for some reason.
What's line one? Huh? You came off, we lost it.
Okay, so the feedback went away. It has to do with the way.
So now you hear me loud and clear?
Well, I can hear you loud and clear with no feedback. Let's see if the feedback starts up again when Jerome starts up his phone.
Well, I'm not going to start mine up. I'm going to leave it with his, so this way we don't lose nobody already. We you know, first of all, it ain't necessarily about us. It's about this message, man. I want us to get this message. Tilt it up a little so you can see that fireplace back there. Oh, just so you know, this is a fireside chat with y'all, man. That this is me and the brother who sat down and did some real thinking about why we in the condition we in and why Black history is such an important part of what we should be embracing, what we should be investing in, especially for our youth and our next generation. Start off by saying we were the first one here. Not saying that to say we the best and all the rest of that. I'm just saying the fact that somebody had to come first. And whoever plan it was, God or whatever you believe in, we were here first. And the conjugation of colors can only be the darkest down to the lightest. It can't go in the other direction. Now, I know I've said some of this before, but this repetition bears meaning because primarily how they get us to learn in this country or how they get us to be socialized and indoctrinated in this country is through repetition. However, the schools that we made, the Egyptian mystery schools, the universities, the first universities that were ever on this planet were conducted by us. Met people like Aristotle, Plato, all these Greeks who get credit for the wisdom of the ages got their training from the Africans in those schools, or they outright stole their research, their information, and put their names on it. That's nothing new. That's happened since antiquity, and it's still happening now. And how do we stop that? We stop that now by not knowing what we're supposed to know about our history. It is said in every way, shape, and form that the people who do not know their history are doomed people. Because it is your history that determines your presence, that propels you into the future. And this is why there's an effort afoot to erase it. And this is why I want to talk about this really tonight. trying to erase history is superfluous because there's too many people who know it. But what they're doing by erasing it is not allowing people to find out that didn't know. And that's their own people as well as the people whose history they're trying to erase. Thank you, brother. Thank you, William Reed. Some brothers are chiming in. I just want you to know, man, we doing this for the people. The object of this whole thing is to educate you so that you can educate yourself. Don't believe just what I'm saying. Google it, research it, look it up. But the facts remain. The oldest fossilized remains is of black people. The greatest civilization started in Africa, which real name is Akubuland, but just like everything else, people think you can change the name and erase the history. Now, I'm not in favor of going back to calling it Akabu land and keep it authentic, but I'm in favor of you knowing that that is a name that was given to us. That's not the name that we had and embraced in the beginning. And we need to unearth some of these false names and representations so that we can understand not only how great we are or how great you as an individual could be, but also to understand that as a people, we are so far away from our natural order in things. We are the head and not the tail, the beginning and not the end, the good and not the bad, the best and not the worst. You don't start with the worst if you want to continue a species or anything. You start with the best. You don't do anything in life unless you start with a blueprint for how it to succeed. And the blueprint for the succeeding of man has been the development of the black man on the planet. I want to bring us back to somebody will say, oh, well, this is racial. You doing the same thing that y'all say we doing about racial politics and racializing things. Heck to the no. When you speak in truth, we're not talking raciality. We're not talking racialized. There's no such thing as race. There's but one race on the planet. It is called the human race, of which all of us are part of. We are all people of color, even those who would like to think that they're superior to us because of the color of their skin. When in fact, that is a lie because they have recessive genes, which is why the conjugation goes from dark to light. In the beginning, it was darkness, triple darkness throughout the earth, throughout the region, throughout the heavens. And then there was light, because you cannot get something from something that ain't got nothing. And you get something from the more power source down to its lowest common denominator. Now, that's not about who's better, who's worse. That's about what the order of things are factually, historically. Before there was recorded history, we were recording history. We were recording history. We have dynastic periods with kings and queens. Queens, women, Queen Nzinga, Queen Nefer. There are so many women who have headed dynasties, who have fought in wars, who have decimated opponents, who have had civilizations that have thrived and flourished under their leadership. Because as a black man, we know that we are together, that we're not better than she, and she's not better than we. But together, we are the best thing on this planet. And we always came from that proposition. That's why we don't have no problem with leadership from our women. Pause on that.
And while he's pausing, I just wanted to take a minute to respect Jesse Jackson and some of the work that he's done. For y'all that don't know, we lost him today. And if you stop and you think in terms of our history, he played a big part in our history. And it's the things like that that we're going to have to do. We're going to actually have to make a more concerted effort to actually take the time to get out here and teach. Those who have the ability have a responsibility. And it goes without saying, not only do we need to teach, but we also need to listen to one another. encourage one another, and just be compassionate to one another, because we don't know what the next man or next woman or next person is going through.
Yeah, thank you for that, bro. And I meant to start off the show with that, but we was having a little technical difficulties, and it threw me off the route. That's why you got a co-host with you. You cover each other. I do want to give honor to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Many people said a lot of things about it. It's been all type of speculation, but it's undeniable that this man stood up at a time when many didn't. And for all of you ready to say something negative about him, what the hell have you done? And that's not a disparaging remark. I'm just saying we always can talk about somebody else, what they did or didn't do, but what are we doing? Again, this program is asking you two essential questions. One, are you part of the problem, or are you part of the solution? And that's what men like Jesse Jackson and all of them, they tried to be part of the solution. However failed they were in their attempt, they did something to try. What are you doing? As an individual, as a group, as anything, what are you doing to advance the cause of justice and righteousness in this land that we live in, that we built, that we were here first, that is ours? What are you doing? What are you doing in your neighborhood? See, we can talk about the past, which history is about, but also we got to be mindful and cognizant of the present so that we can hope to have a better future. And that's to say, what are you doing now? Many people say, oh, I don't know what to do. How are you reaching out to groups and organizations who are doing something, who could use a volunteer, who could use your expertise, who could use your skills and abilities? Are you doing that? Well, why are you calling out Jesse and Sharpton and all of them for all their foibles? I'm calling you out on your lack of participation in this movement to free our people for real this time, because it ain't happened yet. And as much as Jesse Jackson, all of them put their lives on the line for this, we still struggling with some of the self-same issues that they died for. That is a sad testament, not on them because they did their part. That's a sad testament on us who are currently here, who should be in this fight. Now, I know you got your own life to live, but let me tell you something. It is quite ungrateful of you not to remember, appreciate, and pay back the lives that were lost and the struggles that were made so you can have what you have now, so we can be in the position that we are in now. Let us not forget, it wasn't 100 years ago, but we were in chains. Let us not forget that some of us in chains right now. And I don't know about you, but until all of us is free, you better believe none of us are. And if you think that's just a catchphrase, as long as they can lock somebody else up, they can lock you up and I at any given time. So put that in your pipe and smoke it if you're so inclined. But I want us to refer back to people in this struggle whose names we don't know. There are a lot of people whose names we will never know, but don't be for their input, their sacrifice. For the greater good, none of us will be where we at. And I don't care how far away from where your ideal is, I can tell you, it could be a lot worse. I know it, you know it. History tells us you could be chattel slavery now. Nothing more than a chair and a desk that we fight. One of the things that I want to emphasize that we need to get away from is this idea of civil rights. Civil rights is a construct of the courts. It's man-made law. Human rights is what we should be fighting for. It's what I stand as a fighter for, as an advocate for. It's what Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all of them held their head, hung their hats on when they realized that if we not looked at as humans, civil rights mean absolutely nothing. That's a right that can be abrogated like they do now. Like you're supposed to have a civil right not to be accosted by ICE and taken off the street. Well, they do it all the time. Somebody's being it done to right now. Civil rights is not human rights. It is court law rights. We're talking about the law of mankind to protect each other's humanity, dignity, sovereignty, liberty, and life. That's human rights. That's what the brother talked about, and we're going to go into more what Malcolm meant by that, because civil rights can be taken and given, but your human rights are supposed to be for you and everybody else who is a human being to share, regardless of race, creed, religion, national origin, sexual preference, all these things that they use to divide us.
You know, the courts still haven't acknowledged our existence as being the men and women that we are. And until they change what's in the books, you cannot expect anything to be different. And they go by that. That's their book. And they got a system, they got a code, they got a blueprint, a plan. And their plan, they run it to the T. They'll let you know what days you're working, what days you're off. They got a plan. What's your plan? Because if you don't plan to succeed, you plan to fail.
The saying is, those who fail to plan, those who fail to plan to fail. Those who fail to plan to fail. What's your plan? What's your plan? You see, this show could be about everything else going on in the world, but today it's about you. What are you doing this Black History Month? What book have you read? Who have you enlightened or educated, yourself or otherwise, about us, who we are for real? See, that's the problem. That's part of the problem. Problem, we don't know enough about who we are. We don't try to find out. We let everybody else define us and our existence.
We were talking earlier, and I spoke about this musical genius, man by the name of Michael Jackson. You know, the name of the record was Make a Change. And he said he's going to start with the man in the mirror.
The record was Man in the Mirror, yeah.
Man in the mirror. So you got to start with the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, but that's where you got to start. You got to start with yourself. But how can you change yourself if you don't know yourself?
Yeah, I also want to take this time, and I'm not going to mention names because everybody don't want their business spread all over social media platforms. But I'm hurting, and many of us are hurting because we lost another stalwart inside. Died supposedly of a massive heart attack. You know, a warrior whose wife, we all who know her love and you know, share her pain. But this is what's going on. They're killing us, man. We have gone backwards in this thing where now it's all right for them to just kill us and there's no repercussion. There's nothing. Brothers and sisters are dying, being brutalized and tortured. And, you know, we act like we got too many problems to deal with that. Until that problem is on our front door. Let me tell you, people complain to me all the time, and I say, oh, come to this rally, come to this, to do this phone bank, help us out with this, volunteer with this. And they say, sign up, and then they don't show up. And lo and behold, they calling me, texting me, voicemailing me about a problem they have. A problem they have that they want me and the resources I can get together to help. However, when I ask them to be a resource for me to show people how strong we are so that when they need help, they can look at me and say, this is who we messing with, they ain't there. They ain't there. And I ain't calling out no names. I'm just saying this is the process. The process is it doesn't bother you until it's on your front step, and then it's usually too late. You should be out in front of things that you know is going on, that we're telling you, we asking you to get involved with. Nobody's asking you to go to jail. Nobody's asking you to do anything more than show up, stand up with us, and speak out against injustice. Nothing that's wrong. This is why our history is where we at now, because we stopped doing that. Part of it is they murdered some of our leaders. And then they gave us people that told us this was our leaders. And we started listening to them. And that wasn't the fact. They weren't really our leaders. But those people who died, they died so we can have what's better. And I'm telling you, Martin Luther King said it, man. And I'm saying it to anybody who look at this at any time for perpetuity. If a man or woman hasn't found something worth dying for, then they shouldn't even be living. And if you're not ready to die for your freedom, your not just your liberty, your life, your conditions to be better, I submit to you, what are you here for? It's taking up air, surviving. See, as Black people, we never just survived. We've always thrived and prospered. Look at it. See, if you read your history, you would know. We came, it was nothing here. We built pyramids. We built dynasties. We built governments. We built civilizations. We built sciences, maths. Maths, I don't know if that. We built math, science. Mathematics. We created the things that you and I now take for granted. So we've always been doing something, always been addressing the issue as it happened. And now, what are we doing? What are we doing? If you don't read a book this Black History Month on Black history, you don't have the right to celebrate it. You don't have the right to talk about it. It's only in February. They gave it to us for 28 days because you don't know what the heck you're talking about. You don't have the right to stand up to white supremacists and speak from authority, knowing your history, who you are. You don't even have the right. They're telling you now you're nothing. And for 1 second or more, you're believing it, not knowing that you are the best of this.
You know, I spoke about an obligation earlier. And one of the most important things that a lot of people may be missing is that if you have children, it's your responsibility or your duty, not that person in that school that you're sending your child to, because the parent is the first teacher. And if you're not teaching your child Black history, they're not going to get it. Because you're the only one that can give them to them the right way. Because what they're going to tell them in school is not our history.
Not at all. It ain't even close. Most of it is hyperbole, outright lies and fabrications. Some of it is pure fantasy. Pure fantasy that they teach our kids that George Washington never told a lie. Ain't a human being, ain't never told a lie. But you know what that puts in your mind subconsciously? If this white man never told a lie, then anything they telling us probably is true. That's subconscious enslavement. That is mental bondage that you being placed in. To tell you that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves so that you think that they care about you like we care about each other. Emphatically non-cipher, the brothers would say in the temple. No. Abraham Lincoln did not free the slaves. And what he did was allow himself to have enough Black bodies to win a war, and said verbatim, if he could do it without freeing a single slave, he would do what he needed to do. That don't sound like somebody that care about me. Sound like somebody care about political expediency, which is what all these politicians seem to care about. The one Black governor in this country, Westmore, was disinvited to a gubernatorial function. Like all the governors in the country supposed to come to this, and he was disinvited by number 47, Orange Man, orangutan, whatever y'all call it these days. Now, there are Black people sitting there talking about how Trump is not racist, how Trump is good, and I cannot imagine how anybody had reads, and not just read what they tell you, that reads anything to come up to the conclusion that this sad case of a human being is anything but the worst thing for us as black people. It is the worst thing for people in general. White people find that out now because they thought that his ascension this time was going to mean more foot on our neck, and they was going to somehow get this MAGA world that they were thinking of. He don't care about none of y'all. The 3 million or whatever million that voted for him fooled you. Because he don't care about none of them. But my point being, you got black, Hispanic people, gays, LGBT, all still saying this guy is good in any way, shape, or form when he continues to decimate everything about your life and shows you at every turn that, but you know what? That is racism. If you think first, if you black Hispanic, you can't be racist. You just idiot. No, you just an idiot. And I don't care who, man, I don't even care. You an idiot. If you can't see who don't care about you from who do, then you're an idiot. I don't know what other word. There's some other words I can say, but this might be children might see this and all that. I don't want to be vulgar, but you're an idiot. A man who has no command of business, personal relationships, a bully, a rapist, a serial rapist, a pedophile. I mean, we could list, if I enumerated all of the problems with this false human being, that would be half the show. And here you are, John Q. Splivinggates, sitting here saying he's all right. No, you know what? You know why he voted? Because everybody who liked pedophiles put that vote in for him. Everybody who's a racist put that vote in. Anybody who's a misogynist, that was your vote for him. Anybody who hates people from anywhere other than here, who stole what they got here, that's your president. Anybody who wants to take oil and steal from other countries, whether they be Greenland, Venezuela, or West Bubble, hell, that's your president. Anybody who will get up there and make a mockery of one of the best presidents in the history of this country because they feel slighted, that's your president. That's why you voted for him. See, we vote for people who we think we have something in common for, or we think we're going to get something from. I wouldn't have voted for him if there was only one vote, because I know who he is. But see, when you don't know your history, you don't know their history neither, and that's why you get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and everything else. I had a friend, former friend, mind you, who told me that this guy, 47, was a good businessman. Yeah, he's a good businessman. I said, well, he had at least seven bankruptcies. We know it. Oh, nah, that's how you play it. No, that's not how you play it. It's not how you play it. I don't know no real businessman in the world who play business by going through bankruptcy. That is antithetical to business. Unless you just a hoodwink, stealing son of a gun. Good at business. I didn't see Zuckerberg, Spielberg, Iceberg, nobody filing for bankruptcy and claiming to be good at business. I ain't even have to file bankruptcy and I ain't got no money. So you think he's good at business. Oh, he's tough on these countries. Those tariffs, you paying for them. So you don't know your history, or you don't even know what's going on geopolitically. That money comes down to you. While you're paying more, other people who already got more than they need are getting tax breaks and benefits. But he's good for you and I. This Black History Month, we ain't gonna go for those lies and BS. We're gonna expose them and you, if that's what you're thinking about and thinking like. Here's a man who wanted the exonerated Central Park 5 to be hung, electrocuted, murdered, death row, and there's not a scintilla of evidence that they found that actually convicted them young men. However, you want to release and pardon every criminal in your circumference. including the people. This is what I'm talking about. This is why my people. This is why my people. This is why I am very upset with these Negroes who continue to talk about Trump. This Mother Hubbard, yes, pardoned every single individual who was involved in that January 6th uprising, rebellion, takeover of the government, who killed police officers and security for the Capitol, murdered law enforcement, pardoned them, but want to keep people in prison for the rest of their life who ain't did nothing just because they black. And you sitting there talking about he care about black people, he care about anything but his darn self. That's why I say you're an idiot. I-D-it. You're an idiot. Because in this Black History Month, if you cannot see somebody who's made a pointed attempt to erase anything about your existence, your favorable accomplishments and achievements, the battles you have fought and won to be recognized as a full-fledged contracting member of this establishment as a human being, and you still think he all right? Where you come from, the Nicki Minaj school of idiocy? Were you trading off? What are you trading off? You know what another fool told me? He gave them the checks. He gave us the checks. Let me tell you something. First of all, this fool didn't give you nothing. They have to. They got to give you that. It would have been anarchy had they not provided sustenance for everybody that they've been taxing from, and then it took that money back 3 times already. So we ain't get nothing. This is what I'm saying. When you're talking, you got lips. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. They didn't got that money back 3 times, and he didn't give you a dime. What he did was he held those checks up until he could affix his signature to it. So some idiot like you can see his name at the bottom and say, I like Donald Trump. Because he gave you $2,000 for it. I don't care how much he gave you. What the hell you got now? What do you got now? What is he giving you now? Yeah, you can't handle the truth. This is what Black history is about. Exposing lies, exposing falsehood, exposing charlatans, exposing people like you. Whoever's listening, that's an idiot. So if you're not the idiot and you're listening, please play this for somebody who needs to know how stupid they are during Black History Month to be championing the ultra uber racist that they call the president. Let me tell you something. I ain't even just excoriating him. This whole premise of the Democrat, Republican, this union, all bull. Because let me tell you something. You and I know that if we run into doing something and somebody ain't acting right, we gonna step to them. And ain't nobody stepping to this fool. So they either complicit, compliant, or cowardice. One of those C's. That's what I loved about Bishop Brother, his alliteration. Miss you, Bishop. You spoke truth to power with your good alliterating self. That's it. You either complicit, compliant with what's going on, or you're a coward. Not even willing to speak truth to power, not willing to join forces with those who are fighting against what's going on. And I don't care who tuned off or turned out. I'm not in this for fame and fortune, man. I'm in it because, like the brother just said, it is our duty to teach them. If we know it and don't teach it, then we're held responsible. Okay? So, Black History Month.
You know, one of the things that I want you to think about is that we all got differences. And it's important that we put our differences aside and we come together for that one common cause. Because everybody ain't gonna see things the same or think the same, but we all have a common objective, and that's to right the wrong or the injustices that we face on a continuous basis.
Uh, I'm going to go a little deeper than that. We keep complaining about things and not doing anything about what we're complaining about. What's that about? If you're going to complain about something, at least have the intestinal fortitude, the guts to do something about it. You're already running your mouth, so do something else. Obviously, if running your mouth was going to get it fixed and set, you would stop running your mouth. But we're still talking about age-old problems of poverty, racism, brutality, housing, education. Man, I just was at a thing when I told people that the Department of Correction and Community Supervision has to fire Daniel Monticello, the commissioner, because the system has gone backwards and that we're at pre-1971 Attica conditions. That same situation applies right here now. We are almost back to abject slavery. When they can cut your health expenses go up and you don't have the money to pay for it. That's murder. In fact, that is intentional murder. Because you know when you take them premiums and you Obamacare them out because you can't stand the black man. Not that you care about anybody else, but you know what? More of this country relied on Obamacare than black people. More white people did. And all the ones who voted for them, idiots. Yeah, I called you it. Yeah, you voted for him thinking he was only going to mess with the spics and the N-words. I only like saying that. Or he was only going to get the aliens and the wetbacks and I don't know, winos. I don't know what you thought. But you thinking again now. You thinking you could put that boat back. There's nowhere in the world that black woman would have you and us in the position this fool, this orangutan got us in right now. Wars upon wars. Land stealing, threatening allies. And you were out when you threatened the ally. And you're standing here acting like this is all right.
Kidnapping innocent wives.
Man, wives, separating families, children. The first thing you know about an evil person, he don't give a damn about family. That's a sign of pure evil. When you don't care about children and families, because man, that is the only thing that softens life. Women and children. We get our greatest joys from moments with our women and our children. And you want to separate them? That's evil, pure, unadulterated evil. And here we acting like this is how, let me say something. I don't know, it was Stacey Abrams who said that this clown has pulled right out of the Nazi handbook, no, the despot handbook. They don't even talk about him. All the things you have to do, the media and stuff you do, everything you do, and you're sitting here saying you ain't got time for that because you got other things you got to do. And then when it comes to you, you're going to scream for help. And you know what? Ain't nobody going to be there to help you because while you should be helping now, the people they're abusing and brutalizing and murdering, because those are people who come to your help if you help them now. But if they're gone, you're going to be by yourself and you're going to suffer the same fate, if not worse. Idiots. So you can sit there and y'all can act like, man, this dude on here talking. Yeah, I know I'm talking because I got lips, but I also got a lot of damn good sense, and I read a fair amount of everything to know that the situation we in, we don't have to be in that. That Black History Month, if you took it serious as you took Christmas, which is false, as you took Easter, which is the bunny, which is false, as you take all these other Halloween, you know, one of the highest grossing selling holidays in the world is Halloween, a fake horror, satanic. Halloween. See, they're going to give you all the falsehoods you need because they don't want you to have the truth that you could really use and do need. Because the truth would really set you free, where these lies keep you in bondage. So you can blame it on whoever you want, but your own lack of liberty comes from your own lack of investment in knowing your history and teaching your history to others. Not just people who look like you. Everybody needs to know who you are, where you come from, what you're capable of.
You know, the other thing is he touched on these holidays. Spend time doing these. Some people say they're doing it for their kids. So what you do is you perpetuate the lie, you instill the lie in your child, and then you tell your child don't lie.
Mm-hmm. 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 And you said, Hawkins back, and Ma, I love you. I'm gonna blow you up for a moment, but you know I love you. Hawkins back to my mother telling me, "Don't you ever lie to her." And then when somebody calls, she don't want to talk to, she tell them I'm not here. But if she called, I told one of my friends, tell her I'm not here, I'm getting the death penalty, right? If she find out. But I'm just saying, see how we perpetuate, and I know women gonna be mad at me for this, but y'all the greatest perpetuators of that stuff. You say one thing and do another. I'm not gonna make this into a gender thing, but because we love our women, but even our women are not educating themselves or our children, or demanding that the man do his part to do that. At least do that.
Or allowing the man to do it.
Or allowing, yeah. The only real problem me and my mother ever really had, other than me getting in trouble later in law, was that she wanted to force me to go to school on Black Solidarity Day. And I refused. Now, of course, I wanted not to go to school the day off, but even then I had an idea of how important it was to stand up in unity with my brothers and sisters to show who we are. It wasn't just a day off. It was a sign of unity among people from the diaspora to show everybody else, yeah, if we're doing it for this right now, I mean, we could do it for anything if you start to do anything to us. But I digress. I'm frustrated. I'm hurting. Got a little PTSD going on because we keep losing this battle when we don't have to. We have everything we need to win and succeed at what we want to be, what we want this world to be, but we are abrogating our responsibility. But first of all, not even knowing our history. Second of all, but not investing in each other. And third, for allowing other people to define what we are. We try to take the N-word and make it into something slick, but I submit to you that there is not a group known to man who has had a disparaging word, an epithet named by them, who now uses it as a term of endearment. You'll never hear anybody Asian calling each other, yo, that's my kite. You never had a Spanish guy say, yo, that's my spick over there. Man, forget what they say. You don't hear Mexicans say, yo, come here, wetback. My wetback. You don't hear Jews. You don't hear nobody. You hear nobody calling themselves by a racial epithet and trying to turn a negative into a positive. When we know mathematically, sometimes that is impossible. And in the case of the N-word, it should be impossible. We can't make that good. Some things you can't take. You can take a lemon turkey to lemonade if you want, but it's still a lemon, man, by itself. And we got to get away from that. I tell you, the crime that's perpetuated against each other, because if you look at each other like, and I'm going to say it, I don't like saying it, but we keep it official here. You call me, you call me a nigga, you look at me as a nigga, you can kill me, because I'll kill that nigga. But think of it, you call me brother, you look at me as a brother, I'm going to kill my brother. Somebody might hurt you for saying that because it don't even sound right. I don't say the word. Now, it wasn't easy stopping in my vocabulary. I ain't going to front like I'm some, wordsmith that didn't have problems getting that out of my vocabulary. But I can tell you once, it's been out of my vocabulary over 30 years now. And I'm a better person for it. Personally, and I bet you would be too. Not to imagine all the impact it would have on everybody else around you, but I'm a better person for it, personally. Because I don't know no niggas. And I definitely ain't one. My brother. we getting to the end of the show, man, and this was a little impromptu, because we in an undisclosed location, not no witness protection program or nothing. I just needed some time to get away and debrief and regroup. But I didn't want to be away from y'all, man, because this is what we're supposed to be doing, and it can't be only when it's convenient. It can't be, I'm not going to do it because I'm on vacation. Can't be, I'm not going to do it because I got to go to work tomorrow. It can't be, I'm not going to do it for all the wrong reasons why it never gets done. Somebody told everybody that nobody or anybody would do it. And it didn't get done because everybody's waiting for somebody or anybody else. This year, man.
Do what nobody did.
Yeah, you got to listen. First of all, let me say this: if you personally want something that you've never had, I don't care what that is, love, better life, whatever it is. Now's the time that you've got to be willing to do something that you've never done. And I don't know what that is for you, but if you want something that you've never had, you have to start doing things that you have never done. Scary as that may seem, it's the only way. The other thing is, just like this show, we can talk all day, but I am the change I want to see in the world now. I am the actor in the play of my own life. Not with a script from somebody else, total improv sometimes, like tonight. But I am in control. What's your question? What's your story?
We used to have a flyer. I still have it. And it's of a tombstone. And it goes, what's going to be written on your tombstone when that time comes? What are you going to be known for? What kind of character have you been displaying? Who have you championed? Who have you supported? Who have you lent a helping hand? What is going to be said? What's going to be said of you?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be said of you, but we have that. We talk about you have a birthday and you got a date that you unbirthed. I'll look like that. And there's a dash in between that. What does that dash say about you? We know you was born and we know when you left. That dash is what you were here for or what you didn't do. That's it. What is your dash saying? What is your dash going to say? What legacy are you going to leave? What imprint on this world are you going to leave? It was Maya Angelou who said, people never remember the things you say, and they never remember the things you do, but they will always remember the way you make them feel. And tonight, we want you to feel us on this. You may not remember some of the stuff we talked about. You may not remember the stuff we actually do. We want you to feel this. Get up off of your black behind and do something for the cause. Not because, but for the cause. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? We need you, man. None of us can do this alone. And we can turn this world upside down. The coin in Elam, Christian fellows would say, bless you, Bishop. But listen, seriously, man. It is time to step up and step out. Show up and show out. It's time to do the damn thing and not always have the damn thing done to you. You with me? If you're with me, you're going to hit me and say, where you need me, what can I do? If you're not, you're going to keep doing what you've been doing. And you know what? Go keep getting what you've been getting. And if you're good with that, if you like it, I guess I'm going to have to love it. Shout out to my people on. We couldn't see who chimed in today because being in an undisclosed location, we got, satellites ain't letting us see everything. We on the down low right now. No diddy. We on the down low right now. But we wanted to holler at you because we love you. We love you. We love our people. And we know the future that we could have if we would only come together to fight for it as one. Because nothing has ever held us back, and nothing and no one has ever stopped us. So now is not the time to try to let that happen. I'm asking you, I'm not begging no more. I'm stepping to what I want,
and it's gonna be and do what it do. So I'm stepping to you now. As somebody who love and care about you, yours, and your future. I hope you care as much about me, mine, and my future. So let's make this future brighter for all of us. Let's stand up together. Holler at me at the Wright Report, Edutainment for the community. Let me know that you can be counted on to stand up in this struggle for what we all really need, man. Human dignity, prosperity, and freedom. The love comes with all that, but you gotta have those in order to enjoy and embrace the love. Yeah, we're about 30 seconds away. Thank you. Thank my co-host, man. He was a little more quiet than tonight, but he thought I was on fire because I'm really hurting, man. But I'm only hurting because I'm going to get better. And when I get better, I won't be hurting no more. Love y'all.
Peace.
Yeah,
Love
man.
y'all.
See you next week, man. I shouldn't have to ask you to come here, but join us next week if you can. And if you can't, you can always tune in to the Wright Report, Entertainment for the Community on Think Twice Radio, home of the future. Tune in. Shows are online. See you, man, at the victory line. Good night, y'all. Peace and blessings.
Yeah, back to
Hey. Cameraman. All right, let's get food, man. Fuck.
You know, I was thinking, I was actually thinking, and I was like, that tripod you had at the crib would have kept it real. Okay.
What you think?
Oh man.
You know, I'm just gonna take my stuff over there and undress over. What's it done? Oh, it's in. Oh, it's here. Yeah. Don't see it.
Right.
Oh. Yeah. Hold on real quick after that you put that.
I think this is her phone right here. That's her phone right here. She left her phone. I don't know Tamika's phone number. Here you go.
Hey, Siri, go to make the sweetie. Hey, did you actually get the other, baby girls now? You're not with y'all. Oh, you're not with her? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. She don't got no phone. All right. No, she, her phone is in, y'all know? So, and I saw it, man. I'm trying to saw it.
It was moving that way.
Yeah, it was. Cause I know, she done been picking up, cleaning up,
I know.
moving shit.
I told her and Macau would get along real good.
Yeah, what's her name ain't even with her no more. She had to go take her kids somewhere. So, she can't go. Even phone, let me see. Where's my phone?
What is that bathing suit?
She said, "We're going to Morocco." You big shit. I saw that shit.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I don't know. But what did it do? Never still. Yeah, so I'm gonna see Twitch.
Oh, I can't even think of where else to look.
What's in here?
Where? Open anything, man. Look at all of it. Oh, it's bad. Yeah.
Who think that this?
Oh, no, look. That might be the one with your water wings and all that, man.
This Clinton shit. Oh, this is the bands.
Oh, there you go. She got it. You got it. Hello?
Yes, you don't want to air you down.
How much on it?
Maybe okay. Are you back over here?
Yeah, but where's the other sweatpants? Maybe the bathing suit. The blue and white one.